What's up, everybody? Steve here. Today I want to talk about how to get rich and capitalize in a housing market crash. Look, right now it's anybody's opinion as to where housing's gonna go. I believe that we will see a decline in housing values, and I believe that we will see distressed assets come to market. Now, how far below market these properties are gonna come, it's anybody's guess, but one thing I do know is when I just kind of utilize some common sense and look at where real estate values currently are, I'm going to probably go ahead and estimate that they probably will come down. Now, is that going to be 20%? Is it going to be 30%? Is it going to be 5%? Is it going to be 50%? I don't know, but I do want to talk to you guys today on how we can prepare for a housing crash if it does happen. Because frankly, the last housing crash, I was not as prepared as I would have liked to have been. I believe that I didn't set myself up financially to capitalize on all the opportunities that were in front of me. And that's why I wanted to make this video. So the first thing is we want to make sure that our personal debt position, our personal liabilities. Now, this is the debt that is bad debt. This is the debt that doesn't make us money. This is a debt on, the house that you live in necessarily. This is the card debt that you might have, the credit card debt that you might have. All the kind of debt, the bad debt that's taking money out of your pocket every month is going to work against you when you guys need to go ahead and get credit, get financing for future projects, for future distressed assets. So the quicker we can eliminate those, the better off we are, because every lending institution is going to tighten up and they're going to look at your debt to income position. And if you're heavily leveraged with consumer debt, you're going to have less and less purchasing power. Now this leads me into my next thing, our personal expenses. We want to keep our personal overhead as low as possible, and if we do that, we're going to have more cash, and that more cash is going to be available for us to purchase more properties. And that basically leads me into my next thing, is when our personal overhead is very low, we're going to have money left over every single month to start stockpiling away for down payments, or even for paying for properties in cash in full. Look, the last real estate crash, it was astonishing. We were selling these houses for $280,000, $300,000, brand new houses. And when the market crashed, I was selling those same houses via short sales as well as foreclosures for literally $40,000 to $50,000. And now I'm in Southwest Florida, and our market got hit pretty hard, and we're a very cyclical market as well. But I can tell you, if we do see a major crash, you might be able to find deals like that. Also, one caveat too, if you guys are not subscribed, you might want to consider doing that, because I am going to bring you through foreclosed properties that I'm actually looking at buying. I'm going to bring you through the financials as well, whether we're going to be flipping these or whether we're going to be keeping them out and renting them for annual rentals, or whether we're going to keep them and rent them out for short-term rentals in vacation rental programs. So I will bring you guys through these acquisitions as well as walkthroughs. If you guys have interest in that, then you might want to consider subscribing. The next thing is you want to make sure that your credit is as clean as possible. So if there's anything on your credit that's bringing your credit score down, be sure you start to work on that. I'm planning on doing another video with a collaboration with somebody on how to clean up your credit. And it should be a good collaboration, but I definitely would say start working on it, start researching it, and figure out ways where you can get that credit score up. Why do I say that? Because for one thing, it's the make or break whether you're going to get a loan or whether you're not going to get a loan. And also, if your credit score is much higher, you're going to, odds are, get a better rate, and you might not have to come out of pocket with as much money for a down payment. The next thing is start to look around for partners. Partner up. Do you have anybody in your family or friends, or are there other investors that you guys know that have money? I have a certain amount of friends that actually don't utilize any of their own money. They don't finance anything. they actually partnered up with big money guys, and they, prime example, one guy in the last crash prominently buying and flipping foreclosed properties. And this guy, he had an arrangement worked out with the money guy, and they literally split profits, net profits, 50-50 down the middle. And he didn't upfront any cash. So is there anybody that you could partner up with? And also, can you partner up with somebody that might not necessarily have money, but that's in line with what you're going to do as well in terms of buying real estate and investing in real estate? And maybe it's just a good accountability partner where you guys can, start working together, start watching videos like this, start to try to reach out to investors and family members and friends and get them on board to invest with you. The next thing is when the market does start to turn, and especially right now with the talk of a recession and everything else, there's a lot of people losing their jobs in the mortgage related fields, title related fields. So there's going to be a lot of pain out there, unfortunately. And this is not only to get a good deal, but also to help people out. So sometimes people have trouble making payments on utility bills and not just their mortgage. And there's a company out there that does a really good job at data mining called PropStream. I do have an affiliate link down below, but it's a very sophisticated online format to find, like, you can literally narrow into different areas. You can narrow into, like, if they're back payment on real estate taxes, if they haven't paid their water bill. And this could be an opportunity to mail these people, knock on their doors, call them, and see how you can help them out and try to work some deals, work some strategies there. So again, that's PropStream. I'll leave a link down below for you guys to take a look at. And on their main page, you can read more about the company too. Obviously, a lot of people in a down real estate market or market crash, they go through both foreclosures as well as short sales. And, there's a lot of opportunity there to get a good spread and get properties at a discount. And I do have another affiliate link on foreclosure.com. I'll put down below as well. And it's pretty cool because they break it down not just to foreclosures, but they have pre-foreclosures as well. So basically it's showing where people probably have a pending suit of foreclosure against them, but haven't officially foreclosed. So you might be able to reach out to them before it even goes to foreclosure. On that site, they have share of sale. They have, I did another video on this. It's pretty popular on how to actually buy a HUD home with $100 down. So there's a lot of discounted properties on that website, foreclosure.com, and I got a link down below as well. The next thing is you got to have a plan. What the hell are you doing with the property that you're potentially buying? Are you flipping it? Are you renting it? If you're gonna rent it, who are you renting it to? What's the market look like? If you're gonna do an annual rental, you need to know your cash flow analysis. And make sure that obviously the property cash flows after all expenses and after debt expenses as well. And, if you're flipping the property, how much money you're going to have to put into it. Did you figure out all your closing costs associated with it on the front end and the back end, as well as hold costs? And are you going to be profitable when you actually sell the property? And also, whenever I'm flipping properties, I want to make sure that I'm below the current market, because I want to, as soon as I'm done with that property, I want to sell it as quickly as possible. And this leads me to my other thing in terms of partnering up. Maybe you have somebody in the construction industry that's really good with their hands or whatever the case is, maybe a handyman or whatever. And that's a person that you partner up, and you're out there scouting the deals, and this guy's actually doing the work and subcontracting and doing some of the work themselves. And you guys can have a really good alliance there. So keep that in mind too. Another thing is, driving around is very powerful, because you can actually, especially if I like to invest in areas that are close by, because I can go to areas and drive around and see if there's overgrown grass, see if there's, if the house is just a mess. And I can leave them a note on their door, or even knock on their door and see if they have interest in selling their property. You know, by driving around, you can really get a feel for what's going on in a neighborhood. And lastly, patience. You know, right now, I mean, what are we, April 27th, 2022. It's hard to be patient. It's hard to wait the market out and see what's going to happen with the real estate market. I am still out there looking at real estate on a day-to-day basis. I'm looking at, you know, a certain amount of foreclosures, not many. I'm looking at other properties that are super dated, that need work. And, but the thing is that the numbers just don't make sense. And it's too risky for me to buy some of these properties without the right price. It doesn't mean I'm not making offers, but if you know, they're asking $560 and I need to get that property for $325, you know, that's my number. And if it insults them, so be it. But the problem is, it has to work for me. It has to make sense for me in order to make the return that I need to make. So I just encourage you guys to be very patient. You know, it might take you guys, you know, 30, 50 offers to get the right deal. But that's what it takes to be a success in investing in real estate and taking advantage of a housing crash. If you got value out of this, I appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, I appreciate that. And if you are a subscriber, I appreciate you being here. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks a lot.